revealed how a hidden moment of compassion transformed a poor girl's life forever in an incredible journey of art and resilience. Mia stood in her small, dimly lit room, her heart racing like a freight train. Outside, snowflakes swirled like whispers of encouragement, covering her town in a pristine white blanket. But beneath that beauty lay the dirt and despair of her daily struggles. With her mother working multiple jobs, every inch of their modest home served as a testament to their effort. They fought through economic hardship that often left them breathless. Art was Mia's escape. Every brushstroke offered solace, allowing her spirit to dance in colors that the world couldn't see. Red for her anger, blue for her sadness, and splashes of gold for the dignity that remained even on the darkest days. Yet, in the presence of those she longed to impress, she felt lost, invisible, and bruised, as if she hovered in the shadows of a world that craved wealth over undeniable talent. Then the community center announced an art event to promote young artists. At first, it felt like a distant dream. Hopeful, she submitted her piece, the one that expressed the raw emotion of her existence. As the day of the event arrived, the room buzzed with chatter and laughter. The air was thick with ambition. Mia watched as other young artists flaunted their accolades, their confidence like shining armor. But no one noticed her, the girl in the corner, softly painting her truth. Suddenly, Jack entered, a reclusive veteran haunted by his own past battles. He stood apart from the crowd. His eyes flickered over each artwork, finally landing on Mia's. In that moment, something in his gaze shifted. He saw her struggle, her truth. He approached, and as their eyes met, Mia felt the warmth of understanding wash over her. Jack recognized her unfiltered expression and stepped forward, offering to mentor her, guiding her through the intricate dance of hard work and self-reliance. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But with the kindness came confusion. Their age difference loomed like a storm cloud. Whispers danced through the town, laced with judgments and prejudices. The art competition loomed, and so did the anxiety. Critics were relentless, mocking her dreams, reminding her of her economic status like it was a scarlet letter. But Jack stood tall, defending her with a fierce passion that ignited sparks in Mia's heart. In a powerful showdown, he forced the townsfolk to confront their biases, shattering the glass ceiling of privilege that separated people. As the night of the competition approached, the stakes escalated. Mia wrestled with feelings of worth and identity. She immersed herself, weaving every brushstroke with her pain and triumphs, transforming her struggles into art. She realized her story wasn't a burden, but the very ink that colored her canvas. Finally, on the night of the unveiling, Mia could hardly breathe. The gallery lights glared down as she stood before the crowd, heart pounding like drums. Her artwork illuminated her journey, her resilience painted in every detail. But as she faced the crowd, the lingering shadows of prejudice hung in the air. Would they embrace her? Or would her dreams fade like the snow melting in the spring sun? The tension crackled like electricity. As the moment approached, Mia felt every eye upon her, judging, questioning everything. In that breathless silence, she thought their compassion, their acceptance, or their indifference could change everything. The question loomed, could this hidden moment of compassion truly transform her life, or would the echoes of inequality drown out her moment of glory? Mia's breath caught in her throat as she stood frozen, the weight of every gaze pressing against her. She could see the little murmurings, the twitch of lips, the roll of eyes. For a moment, it felt unbearable. Just as she was beginning to succumb to doubt, she felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Jack, standing resolutely beside her. His quiet strength radiated warmth and gave her a sense of purpose. "Look beyond the fear, Mia," he murmured, his voice steady. Let your art speak for itself. You've put your heart into this. Trust that. She nodded, fueled by his unwavering belief. In that instant, all doubts started to dissolve. Mia turned back to her canvas, her eyes sweeping over the vibrant strokes that told her story, the joy, the sorrow, the fight. It was all there. This was her truth, and it deserved to be seen. As the curator of the gallery stepped forward to introduce the night, the crowd's chatter dulled, replaced by a palpable anticipation. Mia's pulse quickened again, but this time it was different. It wasn't just anxiety, it was adrenaline. Each word from the curator felt like a countdown to her moment. Tonight, we celebrate the resilience and creativity of young artists. This is not merely a competition. It's a testament to the power of self-expression. His voice resonated across the room like a heartbeat. When her name was called, Mia felt as though time slowed. Her footsteps guided her to the front as if she were floating. The crowd parted, and there she was. Light from the overhead fixtures caught the colors of her artwork and shimmered like stars. With one hand, she clutched the edge of her easel as the other settled on her side, grounding her as she faced the sea of faces. "Hello, I'm Mia," she began, her voice surprisingly steady. "This piece is called The Colors of Struggle. It captures the essence of pain and beauty in the life I've lived, and it's dedicated to everyone who has ever felt invisible." She felt a ripple of emotion in the room, whispers of understanding. As she spoke, one by one, familiar faces emerged. There was Mrs. Alvarez from the shop down the street, nodding with tears brimming in her eyes. Another friend from school, someone she hadn't seen in years, smiled encouragingly from the back. But then, a man in a suit, a prominent local businessman, stood up. "What can a poor girl know about resilience? What are you trying to sell here?" The words hit Mia like icy water, and the cold realization of judgment swept back in. Anger stirred within her. She had faced so many obstacles. She wouldn't allow this moment to be tarnished. "I'm not here to sell you a dream," she declared, her voice ringing with newfound confidence, "but to share my journey. One that shows how art carries the weight of our lives." The tension thickened. Jack stepped closer, but Mia held up a hand, signaling him to stand down. She wasn't afraid anymore. As she finished her statement, the silence of the crowd felt heavy, but in that weight, she sensed a shift. More eyes locked onto her, their expressions softening. Murmurs spread through the audience like soft notes of a lullaby. People began relating, finding pieces of themselves in her art and her words. Mia scanned the room, seeking shared connection. What if this was the moment she'd been holding out for? The crowd seemed to breathe with her, hearts starting to shift beneath the layer of skepticism. Just as she began to embrace that flicker of hope, she caught sight of someone emerging at the back of the gallery, an unfamiliar face, one that seemed to radiate energy, a glimmer of intrigue. What could this new presence mean for her journey? Mia's heart raced as every eye remained glued to her. But she knew, she had carved her place in this moment. Would they finally start to see her? Or would the patriarch of wealth shake the ground beneath her again? Mia felt the room go still. The unfamiliar face was a striking contrast to the others, full of life and curiosity. Their gaze wasn't judging. It was absorbing her every word with an intensity that sent warmth spreading through her chest. She couldn't help but wonder who they were and why they had come. As the murmurs in the audience swelled, the businessman's baffled expression morphed into one of determination. The unexpected momentum gave Mia a surge of confidence. A spark ignited within her, pushing her onward. "Art isn't just what we see on the surface," she declared, her voice growing stronger. "As a bridge, it connects us, even across vast divides." Jack's eyes glowed with pride as he stayed fixed on Mia, imparting silent encouragement. The energy in the room felt electric, as if every breath taken was a shared heartbeat. She stepped closer to her canvas, the vibrant colors twirling in a dance of their own, a story of trials faced and the triumphs found within. Every brushstroke represents a moment of struggle, she continued, letting her passion wash over the audience. "Moments like when I wondered if my voice could ever be heard or if I would forever remain unnoticed in a world that values wealth over worth." The unfamiliar observer shifted, leaning in slightly, eager for more. Was it a sign of connection? Mia took a deep breath, returning her focus to those present, feeding off their energy. Every heart in that room beat just a little faster, every sorrow mingling with her own. Then, to her surprise, the man in the suit opened his mouth, ready to retort. But it wasn't tea venom he spat out this time. You speak of struggle, but what do you know of real hardship? His sneer was gone, replaced by a hint of curiosity, albeit still coated in skepticism. Mia's heart thundered. This could be her moment. I know that hardship has many faces, she replied, her voice dropping in pitch, collecting the weight of her experiences with each word. And that resilience doesn't come from a balance sheet or full pockets. It comes from within. It's woven into the fabric of who we are. It's the will to keep pushing, keep creating, no matter the obstacles. As she finished, the whispers transformed into something different. They carriadations as shoulders relaxed and brows softened. The audience began to clasp their hands together slowly, the sound turning into a ripple of applause. Each clap resonated through her, wrapping her in warmth. She had pulled them in. She was touching hearts. Stepping back, heart racing, Mia caught a glance from the intriguing figure at the back of the gallery. Their eyes sparkled with recognition, as if they understood. Then the person lifted their hand. A gesture. Was it a wave? A sign of solidarity? But just as Mia registered it, the businessman shot another glare her way. You're fooling yourself. You can't think everyone will approve of your art, he scoffed, though his voice faltered, now tinged with uncertainty. Mia felt the air shift again. The hope she'd begun to embrace met with a challenge. I don't seek approval, she responded, heart pounding. I seek connection, and that's something every one of us can understand. Silence enveloped her words as they hung in the air. Then, an unexpected voice chimed in from the crowd, a soft yet determined tone. Yes, right. It was Mrs. Alvarez, her voice steady and full of empathy. Art is a reflection of our journeys, and we're here to witness hers. Cheers erupted, mirroring the stillness Mia had felt earlier this time. It was buoyant. As applause filled the gallery, she locked eyes with the intriguing figure again. They smiled back warmly, a shared understanding flowing effortlessly between them. Mia's spirit soared, yet uncertainty still flickered. Was this the breakthrough she hoped for? Or just a fleeting moment? With the crowd rallying behind her, she could almost envision a path when suddenly, she felt a tug at her heart again. The unknown presence approached her, their expression earnest. Mia, your story is powerful, they said, cutting through the wave of cheers. I think you might have something the world needs to see, but will need to speak privately. Her heartbeat quickened. What did this person see in her that she didn't see? What doors could open from this chance encounter? Mia's eyes widened, the excitement palpable. This was it, the next step. But was she ready to step into the unknown, to embrace whatever lay ahead? Mia's breath caught in her throat as the figure stepped closer, their intent gaze fixed on her. The applause around her faded into an echo, and the world shrank to just the two of them. My name is Alex, the person said, their voice smooth and reassuring. I'm with an independent art collective, and your work is extraordinary. Honestly, it deserves a larger audience. Mia's heart raced as hope bloomed in her chest. She was suddenly aware of the breathless anticipation in the room, many eyes still on her. You really think so? She replied, disbelief tinging her words. But I thought let's discuss this. Alex interrupted gently. You've sparked something here tonight. There's a fire in your art, and it's not just about colors on a canvas. It's about the stories behind them. She nodded slowly, feeling the weight of their sincerity wrap around her like a warm blanket. I've always wanted my art to tell stories, to connect people. Then let it, Alex encouraged. Take this opportunity. You have an audience right now, let's make it count. They paused, measuring her reaction, before adding, but first, let us find somewhere quiet to talk. Mia glanced back at Jack, who was signaling her to go. I won't be long, she promised, before turning back to Alex. They led her through a winding corridor, the bustling sounds of art snaking away, until they reached a small alcove bathed in soft light. Once inside, Mia felt a mix of excitement and fear. What do you mean by an independent art collective? Alex leaned against the wall, their stance both relaxed and purposeful. We focus on emerging artists, those who have powerful stories but often lack the platform. We are looking for fresh perspectives. Their eyes glimmered brightly. And your perspective is exactly what we want to share. Mia swallowed hard, grappling with the reality of it all. But why me? Because your art speaks of struggle, resilience, and the human condition, Alex replied. It resonates with people. We need authenticity in a world flooded with anything but. The walls seemed to close in momentarily, amplifying her thoughts. Was this really happening? Was her struggle finally being noticed? Would you be willing to let us help you? Alex asked, snapping her back to the moment. I can already envision an exhibition featuring your work, perhaps even a publication that highlights your story. But you have to be ready to open up to show all of you, both the light and the dark. Mia felt a rush of emotion, a cocktail of fear and elation dancing together. I need to, but can I really trust this? Trust is built, not given, Alex said firmly. This journey is yours, but we want to walk alongside you. It's a chance to break through the walls that have kept you silent for so long. She closed her eyes, picturing what such an opportunity could mean. The images of cramped studios, lonely nights spent creating art without purpose, began to fade as a new vision formed, a gallery filled with her work, celebrating her truth. When she opened her eyes, determination surged within her. Okay, I'm in. Alex's smile widened. But there was something deeper in their gaze, something that suggested they understood the colossal leap Mia had just taken. Mia, you're about to set off on a remarkable journey. There will be challenges, of course, but your voice matters. And we're going to make sure it's heard, they promised. As they stepped back into the bustling gallery, a sense of clarity washed over her. Would the storm of challenges she'd face in the future shake her newfound confidence? The thought lingered, tantalizing yet unnerving. And just as the cheers began anew, ringing with unabashed enthusiasm, a familiar voice called from the crowd. Mia, don't forget us. It was Mrs. Alvarez, eyes sparkling with admiration. Mia turned to Alex, a question poised on the tip of her tongue. What comes next? But before Alex could answer, another voice piped up, a tiny, eager one that cut through the noise with raw honesty. And what about the people who won't understand? Mia froze, heart thudding. Would her message be embraced? Or would there be those who wouldn't see her art for what it was? As she looked around, the excitement was palpable, but so were the shadows of doubt. This was just the beginning, and the path ahead could twist in ways she hadn't even begun to imagine. Mia's thoughts raced as Alex's voice blended into the background hum of the gallery. Questions bubbled to the surface, that tiny voice from the crowd haunting her. What if people didn't get it? What if they dismissed her story as just more noise in a world drowning in color? Focus on the stories, Alex said, sensing her turmoil. Those who truly resonate with them will find you. The rest, they're just noise. You're here to share your truth, and that's what matters. Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of that truth pressing against her chest. I just don't want to fail. It's been so hard to get here. Alex nodded, their expression softening. We all start somewhere. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the journey. Embrace it, learn from it. And remember, you're not alone in this. They looked around the room, softly illuminated by the glow of the art. You have the support of an entire community. Mia scanned the gallery, her gaze locking onto Jack. He stood there, beaming with pride. A flicker of warmth ignited in her heart. She thought about how hard it was to share her emotions through her art, how they flowed from her brushes laden with struggle. Could what she fought for finally resonate with someone else? Are you ready to collaborate on your vision? Alex asked, breaking her reverie. They continued, we need to look at the first steps for your exhibition. Let us brainstorm what you'd want it to look like, the message, the feel of the space. Yes. I think I can do that. Mia stumbled over her words, but the glint of excitement in her eyes began to shine brighter. I want it to feel like home, I wanted to tell my story, the struggle, the hope, the journey. I want people to walk in and feel something. I want them to see what I've seen. That's a powerful start, Alex said, clearly impressed. Let us take those feelings and transform them into a theme. Think of colors, sounds, even the scents. Can we capture the essence of your life experience? She waved her hands as if painting in the air. There are so many colors. The blue of regret, the fiery red of anger. But then there's the golden yellow of hope that bursts through it all. And maybe that soft green that reminds me of growth and healing. Alex jotted down notes, a bright smile on their face. They were encouraging Mia to unearth the very feelings she often buried under layers of paint and fear. Suddenly, Mia's joy felt like a kite soaring higher and higher, reaching for the sun. Could we include an element of storytelling in the exhibition? Maybe even in the program, like little snippets about each piece? Absolutely. Alex agreed, eyes sparkling with ideas. Each artwork has a voice. Let us make sure it speaks loudly. It could be your words beside each piece, or we could record audio snippets for the visitors. The thought of her art being heard, not just seen, sent shivers of exhilaration through her. It was something she desperately wanted. That would be amazing. I've worked hard to find my voice, it's time to let it ring out. Just then, the mood shifted as a commotion erupted from the entrance. Mia's heart raced again, but this time not from fear. She exchanged curious glances with Alex just as a new figure emerged, a tall woman with fiery red hair and a fierce expression. A whirlwind of energy that drew everyone's attention. What did I miss? Is this the party of the year? Violet shouted, her laughter reverberating through the gallery, breaking the tension in an instant. Everyone turned, their spirits lifting, and Mia felt a wave of connection wash over her. Violet was a force, a well-known figure in local art circles, full of life and stories of her own. Mia, I heard amazing things about your work. Can we talk? Violet's enthusiasm sparkled as she approached, eyes wide and sparkling. Mia exchanged glances with Alex, feeling a rush of optimism. Was this just coincidence? Or was this the universe pushing her into the spotlight? But as Violet reached her, a sprinkle of doubt lingered. Would this new opportunity take her further than her wildest dreams or lead her to a place she wasn't prepared for? As the gallery buzzed around her, Mia stood at a crossroads. Excitement pulsed through her veins, but a flicker of fear whispered that this moment might change everything. Ready for what's next, Mia? Alex prompted, but her mind bounced between exhilaration and anxiety, leaving her on the edge, holding her breath. What lay ahead, a chance to share her truth or an unraveling of her fears? Violet leaned in closer, her voice suddenly softening. Mia, I can feel the passion in your work just standing here. This is your moment to shine. Don't hide from it. The gallery had transformed into a vibrant pulse of energy. People moved in groups, their laughter mingling with the soft notes of jazz drifting through the air. But in that hectic moment, Mia felt both lost and found. It was as if Violet's words wrapped around her like a warm blanket, pushing her forward. Thank you, Mia replied, her voice barely rising above the noise. I'm just trying to figure it all out. Figuring it out is the first step, Violet exclaimed with contagious enthusiasm. Let us dive into it together. I'll help you craft that voice of yours until it's soaring. Art needs to connect, and you've got something special. Mia's heart raced. She thought back to all those late nights at the studio, the messy brushes, the canvases splattered with her emotions. The moments she thought nobody saw seemed worth it now. Could this be the break she'd been waiting for? Would you really? Mia asked, her eyes wide with hope. I'd love that. I just don't want to let anyone down, especially myself. Don't think about what ifs. Let us focus on what is. You've got a powerful story to tell, and it deserves to be heard. Plus, the community needs this to see and feel your journey. Violet's gaze was intense, filled with sincerity. Mia took a deep breath, absorbing Violet's unyielding energy. An inexplicable bond seemed to connect them, and in that moment, she dared to dream bigger. Okay, let us do it. Let us reach for the sky. They stood together at the edge of the gallery, the din of voices swirling around them. A smile grew on Mia's face like a sunrise breaking through the clouds. This was happening. It was real. Then she noticed Jack across the room, talking animatedly to a group of friends. His laughter rang out like music, lifting her spirit. She thought of how supportive he had been. "Jack, come here," Mia exclaimed, waving him over. Jack turned, his face lighting up when he saw her. "Hey, I was just telling them about your art. I can't believe how incredible this all is." His enthusiasm sent a surge of warmth through Mia. "Is this the famous Violet we've been hearing so much about?" "Yes. And she's offered to help me with my exhibition," Mia replied, her pulse quickening as she shared the news. For a moment it was just them, full of possibility. "That's amazing, Mia. I knew you could do it." Jack beamed, his pride evident. Mia's heart swelled. It was like a weight lifting off her chest. "I feel like it's finally coming together. I just hope I don't mess it up." Violet interjected, "You won T. You're going to knock them dead. Just speak from your heart." The confidence in her voice was a spark, igniting something deeply buried within Mia. She took a moment to savor it. This was her time. Suddenly, Mia's phone buzzed in her pocket. She glanced down to see a message from her mother. Her heart skipped a beat. Would her mother understand all that had changed? Would she believe in Mia's dreams? There was so much unsaid between them. "Everything okay?" Jack asked, noticing her sudden stillness. "Yeah, it's just," her voice trailed off. How could she explain it all? How could she share her journey without losing everything she fought for? But before she could respond, Violet interrupted. "Why don't we take a break? Grab some food, get inspired. You'll need your strength." Reluctantly, Mia pocketed her phone. Maybe she could tackle that later. Right now, there was a celebration of new beginnings right in front of her. As they walked towards the refreshment table, Mia felt a rush of joy mixed with trepidation. Bursting thoughts collided in her mind. Who else might be waiting to connect with her story? What was waiting just around the corner? Just then, as they reached the snacks, Mia spotted someone across the gallery, a figure she hadn't seen for years. Was it possible? Her pulse quickened. Was it really him? What would this unexpected encounter mean? Was it a chance for closure? Or a storm waiting to unfold? Mia's heart raced as she locked eyes with the figure across the room. It was Ethan, the boy who had been her companion during some of the hardest years of her childhood. His laughter had once been the sunshine on a cloudy day. They had drifted apart when life turned complicated. But standing here, his presence ignited a flood of memories. "Mia, is that really you?" Ethan's voice broke through the noise. "Ethan," she breathed, her legs feeling like jelly as she approached him. Memories of shared dreams and whispered secrets echoed in her mind. "What are you doing here?" "I'm here with a friend," he said, glancing around, but his eyes remained fixed on her, intense and searching. "I had no idea this was your exhibition. It looks incredible." Her cheeks flushed at his words. "Thanks. I'm still processing everything. It's surreal to have my work displayed like this." Ethan stepped closer, curiosity sparking in his eyes. "From what I see, you've put your heart into it. It's beautiful. So, how has life been treating you?" Mia swallowed hard. The words danced at the edge of her tongue, stories of her struggles, her dreams, and the weight of her mom's disapproval. But something held her back. Would he judge her? Part of her wanted to share everything, to strip off the walls she had built, but another part feared rejection. "Good. I'm finally pursuing art full-time," she said, keeping it light. She gestured around the gallery, trying to match his enthusiasm. "Wow. I always knew you had it in you," he smiled, and for a moment, everything faded away. Just then, Violet and Jack rejoined them, their laughter ringing out like a melody. "Mia, come on. We found some amazing snacks," Violet said, her energy contagious. Ethan nodded at the newcomers. "Nice to meet you all. Mia was just telling me about her art." "Honestly," she's being modest, Jack chimed in with a grin. "Her work is stunning, and she's about to take this city by storm." Mia felt a warmth spread through her. She couldn't help but glance back at Ethan, hoping to see his approval. Instead, she caught a flicker of something else in his expression, something uncertain, almost sad. "What about you? What else new?" she asked Ethan, suddenly eager to turn the conversation back. He hesitated, his smile faltering. "Oh, just trying to find my way. It's been a bit of a rough patch lately." Her heart sank. She remembered how life had thrown challenges at them both, but to see him struggling made her own worries seem even more trivial. "I'm sure you're doing better than you think. You always found a way to make things right." He shrugged, glancing down. "I'm working on it. Sometimes it's hard to know if you're heading in the right direction." A silence enveloped them, charged with unspoken truths. Mia felt the urge to reach out, to remind him of his worth, but she wasn't sure how. Violet, sensing the heaviness, piped up, "Hey, how about we all grab some food? I hear there's an amazing platter of local cheeses." "Sounds great," Jack said, his voice bubbling with excitement. As they turned toward the food, Mia glanced back at Ethan, and for a brief moment, their eyes met again. There was a connection fragile yet strong, like a thin thread stretching across time and space. After they filled their plates, Mia found herself beside Ethan again. "You should come to my next show," she said, feeling bold. "I'd love to see you there." "Definitely," he replied, his tone brightening slightly. "I'd like that." But deep inside, a worry lingered. Could their once-shared dreams reweave, a connection severed by time? Was this a moment of hopeful reconnection, or a reminder that the past can sometimes shadow the present? As they worked their way back to the gallery, Mia felt an undercurrent of uncertainty. The world felt bigger than it had moments ago. But was she ready to step back into the complexities of the past? Or was it better to leave those memories behind? Before she could settle on an answer, her phone buzzed again. She glanced down, and her heart dropped. Another message from her mother, this one more urgent. And just like that, the night took on a new weight. Would she have the courage to face it all head-on? What would the next round of messages reveal? Mia felt her spine stiffen as she read the words on her screen. "We need to talk. Now." The text was short, just like her mom's tone. It sent a shiver of dread crawling through her. "I should check this," she murmured, stepping back from the group. Ethan noticed and watched her closely, concern etched on his face. "Is everything okay?" he asked, his voice low and steady amid the hum of the gallery. Mia hesitated. "Yeah, just it's my mom. She wants to meet. Do you need to go?" The question hung in the air, weighted with implications. Mia hated feeling pulled between her past and her present. "Not right now. I want to enjoy this night." Her voice trailed off, as she wrestled with the urge to prioritize her art over her mother's demands. "Hey," Ethan said softly, sensing her internal struggle. "You can take your time. Family is important, but so is what you're doing here." His words were like a salve to her racing heart. For a moment, the noise of the crowd faded, and it was just them, two lost souls reconnecting in a world that seemed to want to pull them apart. "Thanks, Ethan," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. She looked out across the gallery, the vibrant colors of her artwork lighting up the walls like sparks of freedom. "I just wish I could stay in this moment forever." "Then let's not dwell on the messages just yet," he suggested. "Let us make the most of this, okay?" Mia nodded, pushing down her apprehension at least for now. She returned to the others, surrounding herself with laughter and energy. Violet was animatedly describing the cheeses, while Jack chimed in with playful comments. As the night went on, Mia found herself drawn back to Ethan repeatedly. They shared stories, reminiscing about their childhood and the aspirations they once had. He told her about his struggles with finding his footing, how he'd been switching jobs, trying to figure out what he truly wanted. "I guess we both have our battles," he admitted, frustration flickering in his eyes. "Maybe that's what we were meant to do? Support each other?" Mia could feel something shift within her. They were no longer just the kids who shared dreams. They were young adults wrestling with reality. I think we need to be honest with each other about everything," Mia said, her voice steadying. Ethan looked at her, his brow furrowing. "What do you mean?" I mean, I've missed you, and I've missed us, but there's so much unresolved. Mia took a breath, feeling the rush of vulnerability wash over her. Last time we talked, there was so much left unsaid. Ethan studied her, and his expression softened. I know what you mean. Life pulled us apart. It's like there's this space between us that we never quite filled. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, something unspoken and electrifying hovered in the air, reminding Mia just how much she valued his presence. She was tempted to reach out and bridge that unfilled space, but just then, her phone buzzed again, harsh and jarring. Ethan glanced at her, a worried look crossing his face. You should answer it. Mia felt a knot tighten in her stomach. But, I don't want to, she admitted. The last thing she wanted was to shatter this fragile moment with the weight of her reality. Maybe you need to, he replied gently, but his eyes held a flicker of understanding. You can handle both, Mia, just like you always have. Taking a deep breath, she hit the button to read the message. I'll be waiting, Mia, it said. A familiar anxiety began to creep back in. Looks like I have to, she muttered, feeling more uncertain than ever. Ethan stepped closer, his presence grounding her. Whatever happens, I'm here for you, he said softly, his eyes warm with support. Mia nodded, but inside her heart raced. As she prepared to face her mother's demands, a troubling question lingered. Could she reclaim her connection with Ethan? Or would the pull of family expectations tear them apart once more? She glanced back toward him, the familiar warmth both comforting and terrifying. The night had lifted the curtain on possibilities, but what would she discover next? Mia's heart thrummed in her chest as she turned away from Ethan. She could still feel the warmth of his gaze, but the weight of her mother's message pressed heavily on her. The gallery, which had once felt like a sanctuary, now felt like a stage set for a confrontation she wasn't ready to face. Her mind raced as she made her way to a quieter corner of the room. The clinking of glasses, laughter, and conversations were muted by the growing storm inside her. She recalled her mother's disappointed looks, the way they stung more than words every time they had met since Mia had chosen art over the family business. As she sat down on a low bench against the wall, she glanced at her phone. She devoured the message again, searching for hidden meanings, for any hint of what her mother could possibly want. I'll be waiting, Mia. The words now felt like an ultimatum. Meeting her mother could mean a confrontation about her choices. Could it turn into another fight? The thought made her stomach churn. Hey, you okay? A voice drew her out of her turmoil. It was Violet, concerned with her wandering expression. You've been awfully quiet all of a sudden. Mia forced a smile, but she could feel tears prickling. Just thinking about my mom. Violet sat beside her, tilting her head. I'm guessing that's not a happy thought. It's complicated. It's always complicated. Mia sighed, staring at her artwork that glowed vibrantly on the wall. It felt like the only thing in her life that brought her joy. I just don't know what she wants from me. Violet nodded, her expression softening. It's tough. Family can be both a safety net and a cage. Sometimes they just don't understand our dreams. Mia nodded. Exactly. They see my art as a distraction. To them, it's not a real career. A gentle silence settled between them, heavy with unspoken understanding. Violet finally said, "What if you just told her how much this means to you? You know, the truth of it?" With those words, Mia felt a spark of courage. You're right. I just need to be honest, tell her how I feel. But what if it doesn't change anything? Violet reached over and squeezed her shoulder. You'll never know until you try. And remember, you're not alone in this. You've got friends who believe in you. Mia could feel the tide within her shift slightly. Having someone by her side made everything feel less daunting. She thought of Ethan, not just his support, but how he seemed to get her, to see her at her core. Thanks, Violet. Mia stood, her conviction slowly building. Maybe it's time I face this head-on. But just as she turned to rejoin the crowd, her phone buzzed again, interrupting her newfound resolve. It was another message from her mother, this time more pressing. Please don't make me wait. This matters. The pressure pushed against her like a weight. For a moment, Everything wavered. The gallery that had felt like a castle turned into a cage again. She felt a deep breath hitch in her throat, uncertainty clawing at her chest. Why can't she just see what I want? Mia muttered, her frustrations spilling over. Violet stepped back, a thoughtful look crossing her face. Because she cares, Mia. Sometimes love comes across as control. But just think, is this meeting about your mom wanting to take something from you? Or could it be an opening to understand each other? Mia looked back at Ethan, who was laughing with Jack, his smile bright against the backdrop of her art. The thought of transforming this tension into a conversation suddenly felt less terrifying and more like a quest, a journey to reconnect. Mia took a deep breath and sensed the resolve solidify in her chest. You're right, Violet. I will talk to her. But what if she can't accept who I am? Then you create a path. With a final glance toward Ethan, determination coursing through her veins, Mia decided it was time to face her mother. She needed to break the cycle. It was now or never. Yet, as she stepped back into the fray, the electric presence of anxiety flickered alongside her hope. What awaited her could either strengthen her path or push her back into shadows of doubt. Her heart raced with uncertainty as she texted her mother. Okay, I'm coming. But we need to talk. All of it. And as she hit send, the question hung in the air. Could this moment hold the key to her freedom? Or would it tighten the chains of expectation? Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her decision settle over her like a comforting blanket. She caught a glimpse of her reflection in the glass-covered frames of her artwork, a young woman standing tall, ready to share her truth. This was her moment, and she wouldn't let it slip away this time. She turned back to the crowded gallery, where laughter and music sang in the air, and felt the camaraderie of her friends lifting her spirits. Are you heading out? Jack asked, concern flickering across his face as he joined her side. I thought we were all having fun together. I need to talk to my mom, Mia replied, her voice steadier than she felt. I have to clear the air and maybe put all this pressure to rest. She gestured toward her art, her passion pulsing through her veins. It's time to let her see who I really am. Do you want me to come with you? Jack offered, his eyes filled with warmth and support. Thanks, but I think I need to do this alone. She's not going to understand if I bring someone along. I have to show her that this is my journey. Mia responded, determination edging her voice. And I want her to hear it straight from me. Jack nodded, his pride evident. You've got this, Mia. Just remember, no matter what happens, you have people rooting for you. Mia smiled, feeling a swell of gratitude for those who had supported her along this journey. She made her way through the room, the vibrant colors of her pieces glowing alongside her anticipation. As she reached the exit, Ethan caught her eye, his smile fading into a look of concern. Hey, everything okay? He asked, stepping closer. Yeah, I'm just heading out to talk to my mom, she said, her voice steady despite the knot twisting in her stomach. I have to do this. Ethan stepped away, respect evident in his gaze. Mia, I know you'll find the right words. Just be yourself. Thanks, Ethan, she said softly, feeling a warmth bloom in her heart. I'll let you know how it goes. Mia stepped outside, the crisp night air brushing against her skin and filling her lungs with clarity. She felt invigorated yet apprehensive. The reality of the conversation might be harder than any brushstroke she'd ever created. As she walked toward her mother's house, anticipation danced within her. Would they finally unlock the door to understanding one another? When she arrived, Mia hesitated in front of the door, her heart pounding like an echo. Gathering her courage, she rang the doorbell. The sound resonated through her, vibrating with the weight of possibilities. A minute later, her mother opened the door, a mix of relief and uncertainty flickering across her face. Mia, she said softly, stepping aside. Come in. Entering the familiar, cluttered home felt suffocatingly intimate. Memories flooded back her mother's nurturing presence, but also the growing tension as her art began to change the landscape of their relationship. Where have you been? Her mother began, her voice taut. I've been trying to reach you, and it's not like you to disappear. I know, I'm sorry. Mia sighed, the warmth of her mother's concern tugging at her heart. I've been working on something important, but there are things we need to talk about. Sitting in the cozy living room, Mia took a moment to absorb the scene, a collage of family photos, remnants of childhood scattered across surfaces. Her mother sat opposite her, an inscrutable expression lingering as she waited for Mia's words. I just want you to know that art means everything to me, Mia started, her voice trembling slightly. It's not just a hobby or a distraction. It's how I understand the world, how I express my feelings, and how I find my own voice. Her mother opened her mouth to interject, but Mia pressed on, summoning the confidence she'd found throughout her journey. I faced a lot in pursuing this, and sometimes it feels like I'm swimming against the current alone. But I need you to understand this is my path, and it deserves a chance, just like you had your own dreams. Her mother's gaze softened, and in that moment, Mia saw beyond the predictable pattern of disappointment. She noticed a glimmer of awareness. I've always wanted you to have security, Mia. I didn't want to see you struggle like I did, she said, her voice laced with vulnerability. Mia felt a shift as they began to bridge the gap that had long divided them. I appreciate that, but I want to explore my own journey. It's just as valid, even if it's different from your own. Tears pooled in her mother's eyes, and for the first time, Mia saw the fear beneath her mother's fierce demeanor. I'm scared, Mia. I worry about you. I get that, Mom. But I want to prove to you that my dreams matter too. They can bring light. In that trembling silence, a new understanding began to take root. Mia reached out, taking her mother's hand in a gesture of solidarity. Please come to my exhibition. I want you to see my work, to see what it means. Her mother squeezed Mia's hand, looking deep into her daughter's eyes. I will. Promise. And just like that, a sense of warmth enveloped them, shimmering between the words that had previously lingered unspoken. They exchanged smiles, long characters of hope and realization, a fragile bridge built on shared vulnerability. As Mia left, she felt lighter, her heart filled with a sense of promise. Stepping back into the night, she glanced up at the stars twinkling brightly above. The world felt expansive, infinite. She took a moment to breathe in the crisp air, a smile tracing her lips. With every brushstroke, every moment, she had painted her truth. And now the path ahead looked brighter than ever. As she walked, her phone buzzed again, a message from Ethan lighting up her screen. How did it go? Mia typed back, her fingers dancing across the screen. It went well. I think I finally reached her. With a flicker of excitement brewing within, Mia realized that this was not just the end of a conversation, but the beginning of something bigger, an artful journey where her voice, her story, and her heart would truly shine. And with heart ablaze and dreams daring to soar, she whispered into the clear night air, I'm ready for what's next. Now here's your chance to be part of this incredible journey. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire you to chase your dreams. Leave a like now if you enjoyed this journey. It's what fuels us to keep creating amazing content. Comment your reactions and feelings about Mia's transformation. Your voice matters. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see the power of resilience and art. Don't wait not even one more second to share this inspiring story. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.